Hello and welcome back to the OSP Sports Show. It's finished 9-0 again to Southampton. Second time under Ralph's management. Second time for a lot of the players that are on the pitch today. And just it's hard to. One of the good things about being a fan to a mid-table club is you don't really, I wouldn't say care, but you don't have high expectations, which is what I failed to do over and over again. This year I was pretty much saying that, you know what, we could get top four at the beginning of the season. We could get top four. Our team we were beating pretty much every club that was in that top six and having good performances against the top four, including Manchester United that we almost beat last time, being 2-0 up, a good game against City, beating Liverpool, beating Everton. We were looking good, and then it's ever since that Leicester game, it's ever since the Liverpool game after we won, it's gone downhill from there. Of course, injuries have been very impactful to our squad, as well as Danny Ings saying that he's looking to leave isn't pretty much a good morale for the rest of the squad as well. But it's stuff that every team goes through, especially this season. A lot of teams have had injury issues and all sorts, but it just 9-0 still isn't acceptable. It's not acceptable at any level. It doesn't matter if it's City, it's just not, and especially happening on us again. Now, I like Ralph. I think Ralph is a good manager for Southampton for the time. I feel like he can improve the squad a lot, but having 2 9-0 defeats in 2 years is not a good record, and it's something that he has to look on and be criticized on. I mean, I liked him as much as any other Southampton fan, but he has to be criticized. That's unacceptable. 2 9-0 losses with the same manager would pretty much get you sacked in any other team. Especially just a month ago, we were talking about how we came back from the 9-0 loss to Leicester after we beat Liverpool. Everyone was talking about how the change. So one of the positives that I hope is that we can't get any worse than this. Well, I mean, we can if we continue losing and drop down to a relegation battle, but in the form, talking about form, we can't. I don't think we're going to lose more than 9-0 this season, and I'm hoping that's a safe prediction, even though with Southampton, you just never know what to expect. But for now, that's what I'm hoping, and I'm hoping we can switch it back. We don't have the hardest games compared to the rest of the fixtures of other teams, so I feel with this, I would be content with a mid-table finish. However, I know Southampton win twice in a row or 3 times. I'll be hyped in for that European League spot again, since our disappointing performance last time we were in it, as we lost. We went out in the group stage. But it was just the only player I can say didn't have. He had a bad game, but it was half decent in the sense that he was actually producing stuff for his teams. Where Pouch, as always, I feel like he's been Southampton's best player for 2 to 3 years now. He's been incredible, and luckily I haven't heard any news of him leaving. But yeah, he's a very he's pretty much like our soul and heart of our team. I feel like he truly cares about the squad, and he has like a connection to it. Whereas I feel like the strikers that we've had that have been good are star players, so to speak, like Danny Ings, Graziano Pella, Jose Font did have heart, and so I'll not include him. Dusan Tadic, like they looked at Southampton as like a stepping stone. It's like, all right, let me get better. I feel like James Ward-Prowse really cares about the team. He really wants to improve the team. He's not looking to let me get some good performances and then just leave to a big club. I don't think that's what he's looking for. That's something that I can appreciate about him being a Southampton fan, but other than that, everyone was just awful. The goalie was awful. Our 2 center backs, I don't think he did anything malicious to get that red card. I forgot his name. I actually forgot his name. It it's been like it's been 4 hours since the game happened, and I never heard of him before. I haven't this season paid too much attention to the Southampton Youth Academy. So seeing him play, I was hearing hype on Twitter about him. So I was excited to see, because obviously something that we provide in Southampton is our youth players and how they get up. But it was just a very bad challenge. The red card was deserved. It wasn't malicious. I don't feel like he should get too much hate for it, in the sense that he was trying to injure Scott McTominay, but it should get criticized and should get blamed on for our loss. Not for the 9-0 loss, but for a loss, because I feel like her game plan was very much surrounded around playing with 11 players, not with 10. I feel like we needed every player we can get today. And he knows that he's playing because we have no more options at center back, because Vestergaard's injured, all our other center backs injured, Benedict. It's just awful. Both our center backs got red cards today. Funnily enough, not the only game that there were 2 red cards in. And yeah, we have no center backs for next game. I don't know how we're gonna do it. We're just in a very awful position. I don't know how we're gonna get out of this. Ralph should take some blame for the tactics. I mean, I just don't know what his tactic was, because we played with a red card for 90 minutes of the game, pretty much. Yeah, 90 minutes of the game we played with 10 men. So I feel like his tactics, we don't know what they were. Obviously, Austin Villa was terrible and Leicester were terrible as well, but it was just awful. Like I was like, usually I have like tactical analysis. I can see what happened, what went wrong, and be mad. But like, there's just no words to describe losing to 9-0 again. There was just nothing I can say what happened. Pretty much, we just got run. We lost every ball. We didn't win a single. We couldn't get like 10 passes together. We were defending constantly. There was no defense at all. Our goalkeeper couldn't make barely any saves. Danny Ings looked like this, like he didn't care. Like after we were losing 2-0, he was like, "Oh fuck," like he just didn't care. I just can't. I don't want to name any players because they were just all awful. There's just nothing good to say about any of them, except Roser House, which wasn't bad, but just Southampton. It's hard being a fan of a club. Especially 2 or 3 years ago, we were 3 points off, I think it was, from Champions League in the 2015-16 season. Obviously, we fell hard 2 seasons ago where we got 17th, or 16th, I think it was, 15th, which was a terrible season. But I really felt that we could get Europe this season and compete with the likes of Everton, with the likes of Wolves, even though they're having a pretty bad season as well. But I feel like we could compete with the likes of those squads in our good form. However, I also do think we have to blame a lot of the board. Like, it's been 3 seasons now, and I don't think we've bought a player for more than 30 million, which is absolutely unacceptable in the Premier League. We're looking at teams like Aston Villa, everyone that we're competing against, constantly making 30, 40, $50 million signings, which is what's like normal now in the Premier League. Like, we're making, like last year we got 10th, I think it was, 11th. That's money. That's good money that we should be spending. Southampton, what they seem to do is look at this as a business scenario. Let's make some players, let's sell them off, and then where do we go from there? I mean, I don't know where that 80 million from Van Dijk has realistically gone into. It's just, we're not buying players. Like, I feel like this season should be another mediocre season for Southampton where we finish 10th, probably 12th, 13th. That's what I'm expecting. But this should be our last, and the last is that I want Southampton to spend minimum 100 million this season at the summer. I feel like they can play in coronavirus, but I just feel like it's just, out of all the money we haven't spent and all the money we've made from players in the past, I feel like there's no excuse. We have to spend the bank last season, or else we're just going to be another mid-table, bottom middle table half of the Premier League, That's all we're gonna be relegated to. And it's just what would be the point of being a fan in that case? We might as well just go to the championship and actually like compete for top position day in and day out, because it would just get stale, and there's like it feels like there's no intention to compete. They just feel like, all right, let's get a manager, he'll do quite well, let's give him about 20-30 million just to spend, and if a player is doing well that we're not expecting, or a player is doing well, we'll just sell him off for over 500% of what we actually bought him for, or what he's worth. Though it's pretty much what Southampton's been for the last 2 or 3 years. Again, like, I don't understand how we couldn't replicate that 14, 15, 15, 16 were incredible seasons. Incredible. That's what made me fall in love with this club and what made me happy, and I just can't believe how far we've fallen from there. So we'll see where it goes. And a lot of people say it was Pochettino. Ronald Koeman brought us some very memorable moments, some great wins, and it wasn't just the managers, it was the players, it was the boy, everyone was working together. I just don't know what's happened since then. And this season we've lost to teams that we've like, I just don't understand. 9-0 after Man United have lost to Sheffield last week. And one of the things about United with Ole is that they can catch form really quickly, and they can go 2-3 months unbeaten. But once they lose a game, and especially a bad game like they did against Sheffield, they usually drop in form massively. And I'm pretty sure some people are expecting that. And I'm just going to stop talking about Southampton for now. I'm just going to focus on Manchester United. Great win. And I just have to say, it was an Ole masterclass. The squad lineup was pretty much excellent that they needed to do. And the substitutes, one of the things that we criticized, or people criticized of Ole, is that he makes the substitutes so late. No problem here today. He gave everyone enough time. He rotated the squad perfectly, and they look very fresh and ready to go against Everton, which will be a good game. And yeah, Ole, I think, answered his critics today. Because, let's be real, after that Sheffield loss, if they tied or lost to Southampton, after a draw that was pretty miserable against Arsenal, having to play against a good Everton team while probably dropping down, because Manchester United were very lucky in the sense that every other top 6 club lost. Everton lost, Tottenham lost, Leicester lost. They could have dropped to, I think it was like probably 4th in the league, and with 1 loss. I think it was Leicester, if they won their game against Leeds, would have caught on, and would have been 4th, and people would be doubting them to get top 4, and Ole would pretty much be sacked or planning on to be sacked on. So, and that's something that happened in the past. It's happened twice. And so what a lot of questions people are be asking is, have Manchester United progressed under Ole? Is it just let's catch form and then drop for a month or 2? And for now, I have to say, wow. He loses 1, he draws 1, he's getting speculated for a job, and just come back and win 9-0 against Southampton. So yeah, he's answered them, and he's answered them beautifully, because I don't feel like anyone's talking about how deeply in trouble that was, because people like realistically, Manchester United have done this so many times where they catch form and then drop off massively, and this was like bang on to happen again. They lost to Sheffield, the worst team in the league, and all their players played bad. Their tactics were not there, and look, they come back and they win 9-0. So that shows that there is massive progress, and it feels like that 2-1 never happened. Players aren't thinking about that. The players are thinking they just beat Southampton, a good Premier League team, 9-0. They're excited, and that Everton team is going to be a good game, a very good game, and I feel like United have dodged the bullet massively, because they could have, before this game, easily been only 4th place, and I feel like this more or less kind of solidifies their top 4 position. I don't feel like their top 4 should be in doubt for now. and I feel like what they should be competing is for at least that second place spot, which is going to be difficult as Liverpool have caught form and City just look incredible. So especially that they're playing in the next game, the next, I think Sunday it is, Liverpool or City playing a game, and every United fan I'm assuming is going to watch that game because it's massive. Every Premier League fan is going to watch that game closely as it's pretty much a title decider and who to look out for. And United also, we have to mention that goal difference. They were down a lot on goal difference, and now it's only down to 5 in one game. So it's all getting very, obviously I wouldn't consider United a title challenger, but after a game like that today, we can't deny that they're putting their name into the hat. They should be mentioned for now, and they are probably one of the best teams in the country. So that's pretty much it for the United Southampton match review and reaction. It's just another depressing day as a Southampton fan. No words can describe the pain. Like I think I cried for like 10 minutes in my room alone, thinking about just how little like effort, or like I felt like no one wanted to be a Southampton player today, which is upsetting considering that a lot of the fans would die to be wearing a shirt, would give it like their heart, their life away to sweat that shirt out, to score a goal, to score an assist, to make a good tackle, to give a good performance. And the players today just didn't care. They just switched off completely. It was just off. Just no words can describe. Good to Manchester United. Luke Shaw looked amazing. Pogba didn't play surprisingly, benched him, and every player stepped up. Van de Beek played well. Martial, who was a bad run of form, played very well as well. Bruno Fernandes, masterclass again. Probably the best player in the Premier League in my opinion.